How's it going, everyone? My name is Jake and I am back with another concept tutorial for you guys. Today we will be taking a look at gain structure and how it can significantly harm your mix if done improperly. I will do my best to break down this concept into the most important components, as gain structure can get heavily involved with the actual specifications of equipment, and I really don't want this video to be about the gear. My goal is to give you guys the key concepts so that you can effectively apply them right away to your next music production project. Let's get into it. Before we can jump into what results from our gain staging, let's briefly talk about what it actually is. Did you know that gain is not a level control like level faders are? It's not simply increase the loudness of an element. Gain is the ratio between the input level of a device to the output level. Fader level adjustments are different in that it only affects the loudness of the output and does not affect how the input is treated. Breaking this down as simply as possible, changing the input to output ratio can result in changing things like the signal to noise ratio, which I will get to here in a minute. Whereas if you are just to increase a level fader, for example, you are just making that signal, whatever it may be, louder. I want to break gain staging down into three sections. For those of you who like metaphors, think about Goldilocks' porridge dilemma. It is either too hot, too cold, or just right. Corny, I know, but it breaks it down quite simply. Let's look at a signal that is too hot and what it does to your gain staging. Generally speaking, every preamp, audio interface, or console that you use has a limited amount of headroom. This refers to the amount of signal the piece of equipment can handle. I like to think of this like a rectangle that's height is a predetermined amount. Now, let's imagine a signal flowing through this rectangle at a certain amplitude. If this amplitude surpasses the predetermined height, like I've tried to show here, we lose the top part of that signal. And this is what is known as clipping. We need to make sure that our full signal is within the parameters of the rectangle so that we receive the entire signal and everything that it has. So we know that we do not want to set our gain too hot, or else we will lose important information and create distortion. But it's not good to have our signal too low either. You might have realized a specification on a piece of audio equipment that is labeled as S/N with a decibel rating next to it. This stands for signal to noise ratio. Every piece of equipment has some type of noise that is generated from the physical circuits in the equipment. The decibel rating determines how much louder the input signal of the recording is than the noise. If the rating is 80 dB, that means the signal is 80 dB greater than the noise floor. So what does this mean regarding our topic of the video? Well, if the signal is too low, the ratio between the noise and the signal is lessened. And when you go to increase the signal because it is too low, you also increase the noise, making this unwanted noise more audible. This is why it is important to have the signal loud enough so that the noise of the equipment does not make its way into the important signal information. This concept is less notable in digital recording as there is very little noise in a completely digital system, but it is an important concept to be aware of if you are using any gear such as preamps that use analog circuitry. Once again, just like many concepts of audio, you need to pay attention to what you hear. Taking your time with gain staging is one of, if not the most important thing to work on during the recording process. If you gain stage correctly, you will not only find it easier to set the correct levels in your mix, but your elements will just sound better in general. So hopefully this video clears up this concept of gain and what you're using this common parameter for. Let me know if you find this video helpful. Comment if there's something you want me to further clarify. Our community is small enough so that I can definitely respond to any questions. As always, thanks for watching, guys. More videos coming soon, and until next time, have a good one.